It's very difficult. You want to take all the pain away. You want to swap, with him. If I could give him my eyes and we'll do a swap, then I would tomorrow, of course.
I am so delighted to have two VIPs in the Access All studio today. I've got James Owen and his legendary football dad, Michael Owen. You're so welcome. Thank you for coming.
No, it's great to be here. Really pleased to be here. And thank you for having us.
Well, you've got a documentary coming out about partially sighted futsal, which is an indoor football game which has been adapted for visually impaired people. And the reason that you've been talking about that is because James is visually impaired. How has it been making the documentary?
Oh, I mean, it's just been a surreal experience, really. It's been quite a while. It's been halted due to COVID, so on the documentary, I actually look quite a lot younger.
We've talked about you having a visual impairment, but we haven't actually chatted much about what it is. Stargardt's disease.
I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old, and it is a deterioration disease in your eye where I think the central vision is blurry. I struggle with seeing different colours and all stuff like that with different lights. I've got good peripheral vision, so that's something which will stay. So
what are the strategies and different ways you get around things?
There's loads of things, just like little things like picking up what people sound like or noticing what people are wearing. So I would notice that what colour dad's jumper, let's say, would be. So if I ever go out, then I would be able to recognise him from the colour of his jumper, not from his face, because obviously I struggle with detail.
Michael, we've talked about James's experience of it, but as a dad, around diagnosis time, what kind of feelings were you having? What was going through your mind?
Well, as James said, it was about when he was 8 years old when he was first diagnosed with Stargardt's disease. Of course, that's a hammer blow to a parent. You just want, and you think, and he is, but you want everything to be perfect. Of course, it was a sad time, thinking about the future, thinking about how that's going to compromise his life. Will he be able to drive? Will he, be able to work? What jobs will be there for him? And all these things run through your mind. So, of course, it's like anything. Time is a great healer. James is very positive. He wasn't necessarily so positive early on, but certainly in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, he's become a real positive lad. And to be honest, I've got 4 children. And if I said to you, I'm probably least worried about James's future than any of the others.
Why is that? That's so interesting.
He's just mentally very, very strong. He's positive about things. His condition won't stop him.
It's actually quite hard, isn't it, for a parent to see a kid go through anything. And, obviously when we were finding out what James's eye condition was, there must have been procedures and things like that. That's hard as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You're pushing your son forward to get something is going to be painful, it's not going to sting. It's very difficult. You want to take all the pain away. You want to swap, with him. If I could give him my eyes and we'll do a swap, then I would tomorrow, of course. But we just are so positive. We do all the things. I've got a weekend off this weekend, and me and him will be together. I wouldn't want to spend my time with anyone else, type of thing. We'll be out in town. We'll be watching racing on the television, and he won't be able to see it, but he'll be able to hear the commentary, and we'll be messing about, and we'll be listening to the football. Now, I'm a positive thinker, as I said, and we make the absolute very best of life. However, I would say in the scientific side of things, I am one that sits back, tries to do my bit in terms of earning as much money for the charities as possible, hope that the next thing comes out that can maybe benefit James and other partially sighted people. I'm obviously desperate. I mean, I'd pay every cent that I've got, to make James see again. I'd walk the other end of the world to make him see.
And would
better.
you want that, James?
If I could get my eyes to be fixed tomorrow, of course, that's like a no-brainer. I'd love to be able to drive. I'd love to be able to see all my friends and family.
But part of your identity now is the person you are and the eyesight you have and the people you've met. I mean, I am a totally blind person. It is a bit different. But have you any questions for me?
I have. So what's your biggest challenge, and how do you cope with your obviously impairment?
I'm not brilliant at getting around. So driving, I think, was something that I would like the technology to arrive for me to do. I've been blind from birth, and I being able to see now would ruin my life, because I've built a life around not being able to see, and I would have to teach myself to see. And I've already got, 2 children and a job.
Yeah. No, that's fascinating, because
Yeah.
from our point of view, and you asked a question earlier which it made me think a little bit, but when you said, are you sure you would want to see if the not the technology was out there, but yeah, if it was out there to actually improve your vision, whereas you say that you'd be almost perfectly happy not to be able to see for the rest of your life.
I mean, if you brought a cure up to me and said it would be easy and painless, and actually we have a course that could teach you to see in a couple of weeks, I might change my mind. But at the minute, I'm quite happy as I am. No.
Are the kids visually impaired?
Oh, that's a question every taxi driver asks me. They are fully sighted, yes. So they very happily take advantage of us from time to time, but they're absolutely brilliant as well. Anything else, James, before we finish this? I'm quite enjoying this now. Talking about myself.
Who's interviewing who?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's still a bit of a shock that you're quite happy being where you are. I mean, I'm quite happy being the way I am, but I'll definitely prefer to have, like, I don't know, to be able to drive and have a bit more independence.
But that is okay. And that is your experience, and that you're allowed to feel like that. You're also a teenager. I'm in my 40s. I've had a long time to get used to it. So, we're in totally different parts of the journey, and there's no right way to think about it. So you are here to talk about a documentary about partially sighted futsal. And James, your granddad was a footballer. Your dad was a very, very successful footballer. Did you hope to be a footballer?
Oh, I mean, of course, like, everyone wants to be a footballer, especially when it's so close to home. And obviously, that's not the cards I've been dealt. I still enjoyed playing football for a long time, but it got to a point where I struggled to compete when the pitches got bigger, and it was all getting too fast paced. Everyone was getting better and better, and I was good at the ball. I was actually a decent player, funny enough.
Do you agree, Michael? Was he a decent player?
He was good, yeah. Until, as he says, until the pitch got bigger and he couldn't see the ball as well. And by the time he saw it, it was whizzing past him. He couldn't get into position. And James's character is, if he's not going to be brilliant at something, he probably doesn't want to do it.
Where did he get that from?
Don't
I
know.
wonder.
I don't know. His mum.
So when you discovered partially sighted futsal, how did that make you feel, and what did you think about that?
I mean, it was quite a big shock, to be honest, because I didn't expect the standard to be as good as it actually was.
What is it? What is visually impaired or partially sighted futsal?
It's just normal football, but on a small, like, scale pitch, which is perfect for someone like me who used to struggle with the pitch getting bigger. The ball is slightly heavier to stop it, like, bouncing and stuff like that. The goals are normally slightly smaller, like similar size to a hockey goal, and the goalkeeper is allowed to be fully sighted and is not allowed to leave the D.
What's the D?
Like an area around the goal. We would call it
like
an
a box.
18-yard box on the football.
So they have to stay in their lane, these fully sighted players. Yeah. And how did you get on with the game?
Well, I don't want to spoil it because obviously this is for the documentary, but I did actually score at some point while training with the England team. There was some point where I actually got megged and then scored an own goal from getting past.
Do you want to explain to the listeners what that is?
Getting nutmegged.
Yeah.
The ball goes through your legs. It's one of the most embarrassing things in football if you get nutmegged.
So where will we see you, do you think? I mean, you're 17. I did not know what I was doing at 17, but where do you think we'll see James Owen in 10 years' time? Daddy can say what he thinks as well.
Oh, God, I don't even... If you would have asked this question like a few years ago and asked where I'd be now, I would not have guessed this because I was like a shy kid. I definitely wouldn't see myself being here speaking to you.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be successful. I'm pretty sure about that. I mean, he takes a keen interest in my business, which is training of racehorses. He will definitely run a business of some sort in the future. What that will be, I'm not sure.
That's fair enough.
Pretty much know that when I retire from work in 30 years or something, he'll probably take over
the family empire.
The family empire.
Oh, fantastic. So. James and Michael's documentary, Football is for Everyone, is available from the 30th of January on TNT Sport and Discovery Plus. Thank you so much, Michael Owen and James Owen.
It's so impressive.
To be fair.
Well done you.
No, well done you. Stop
Amazing.
it. That's not about me. It wasn't supposed to be about me anyway.
No, it's very inspirational. Amazing, that was.